What's up guys, and welcome back to another video, another exciting pre-PSA video with your host, Nantals. Join me in this video, of course, is the wonderful, the sexy, but yet delicate Liam. What's up, man? Welcome to stream.
How's it going, guys? Feeling very special right now, feeling the love, and very much looking forward to showing you guys a little inkling into what's to come.
Of course, this was the highly requested unlimited Charizard pre-PSA video that Liam has. But of course, after we switch over to his cam, we can definitely see that he has more than just this Charizard. He has other exclusive cards. But of course, before we continue though, quick announcement. Obviously, we sold out crazy, or I guess a launch date for the TCG Player website, but pretty much all the cards that we listed on that same day was sold out. So, and of course we still have upcoming additions to that store as we progress. So guys, definitely get it before it's all gone. Big shout out to you guys for checking out the store, showing the love, and of course helping this collective community grow. And also don't forget guys, we also released the unboxing of Tifa Lockhart. Definitely check that out as well, somewhere right here actually. And of course guys, don't forget we're also doing the unboxing of the Battle Styles Pokemon when that comes out as well. But of course, enough rambling. Let's flip over to Liam's side of the house and check out his exclusive Charizard Base 1. All right, Liam, you have the floor.
How's it going, guys? So, this is what we've been coming for. Absolutely beautiful. Modestly, the modest card in all fairness.
A modestly expensive card.
modestly expensive, but at the same time, it's a base unlimited set, and when it comes down to it, wouldn't say it was a PSA 10, but at the same time, as our friend Talos mentioned, it's a kind of ridiculously expensive card right now, especially how it's just skyrocketed. I mean, how much did you say the last Charizard was recordly sold for?
Well, this was first edition, but it actually broke records at $390,000 for a first edition Charizard PSA 10.
That's more than eyebrow raising. That's what you would call jaw dropping, my friend. Jaw dropping.
Yeah, that's a house right there. It's a house right there.
And straight up trade for the card. You know it. You know it.
So with this unlimited version, we're not expecting it to be super high value, but still, it's still going to be pretty modestly priced well, because it is such a it's one of those cards back in early days of Pokemon where if you had Charizard, you're going to be using it in schools and dominating your friends, showing it off to your friends. So for the most part, it's hard to maintain a card like that for so long. And looking from what I saw of Liam's here, he kept it well maintained for the most part. And that's what this video is all about, is pretty much kind of just doing a quick look around of the card, see if there's any any dents, any misprints, imperfections, any scratches, and just give a rough estimate of what this card could potentially be graded as, even though it's not a first edition card.
As Talos mentioned, that a first edition from this set could certainly net you a house, or if you're a very enthusiast hobby keeper, then it would be something that would be for your private collection, just because of all the recent hype with it all going down on the anniversary.
All right, so let's take a look at the card. It's going to be a little bit difficult on my end, but Liam has, I guess, decent amount of experience to know what to look for. And then, so we'll go with you first to examine the card, and then we'll flip it to me, and then I'll examine it later. So obviously the big thing that PSA looks for is, of course, centering, making sure there's no imperfections, no fading.
So it comes down to the ridges at the very end.
Yes.
Very much key when it comes down to damage over time. The edges, as can be spotted here, they tend to wear and tear even in some of the most reputable style of holders, even back in the days. Sometimes you can't be helped, you know. They're a collectible game that most of us grew up playing, so
exactly.
When you think you've got the right equipment, there are some things that are just gimmicky, I would say. So the edges around the top, as you can see, are pretty respectable. There's no massive impact within the within the bridges themselves. There's a bit of a curve to it, but with a card this old, there's kind of some level of expectation.
Oh, you mean the actual card itself is kind of like folded a little bit?
Yeah, there's there's a ever so slight curve.
Yeah, but it's not too bad though. It's actually not too bad.
But for a card that is this generation old and from how old that it is, as Talos has humbly, respectfully said, it's a really nice little card. There is, however, from my eye, there is a tiny bit of wear on the very top, only ever so slightly, just a little bit of a wear damage on the top ridge as the centering goes for it. It's one of those lucky fortunate ones because it seems to be the ratio wise of 60-40.
You know, that's the one thing to point out real quick is I know as Pokemon, they're pretty good with centering cards. Like, I haven't seen, like, personally, I haven't seen any cards from the Pokemon side of the house that had terrible centering. But in a Yu-Gi-Oh side of the house, I have seen, like, even some of the more modern cards, some terrible centering. So I'm not sure what's going on with that.
I think you would honestly assume that if, like, two big companies that make cards that are reputable for this long, that they would have the manufacturers, suppliers, and other things like that down to knowing that they would probably get them from the same supplier almost. But again, competition, as things are, you know, there's just going to be that level of professionalism, I guess, for the Pokemon side of things. You did mention, I believe, in a few previous videos that the future of full art cards will make centering much more of a problem. Because when you've got full arts from top to bottom, however are they going to fully understand where it begins and stops, just so that they can hit their golden ratio per price, because that's how it all comes down to in the end.
Exactly. I mean, they can always do centering for the back as well, because that will always be something they can measure. But for aesthetic reasons, a lot of people care about centering more so in the front, the face of the card, because that's what they're going to be looking at. They don't look at the back of the card.
And I think that's one thing that people can honestly overlook. Just because one card, like for this card example, just because it might have a bit of wear and tear on the back, I'll show you guys here. You can just about see on the line on the top, more to this side, that there is some wear and tear against the back. But overall, it isn't too bad. There is some minor damage here on the corner.
Is there any scratches or anything like if it's been like on the table or scratched up, anything like that from the from the light reflection?
There is one corner that has that level of damage, and it's honestly quite noticeable.
Oh yes, I definitely see some wear there.
Has shown Talos here, but there is some wear and tear on the ridges on the backside. But
yeah,
primarily speaking, it is more about the front presentation than it is the back presentation. So even for something like this, even though it has some wear and tear and play damage, it would certainly be something that would still be worth PSA grading.
Especially with the current value of prices nowadays. Yes, I definitely think it's still worth saying it in.
One of those collectibles at that time where it's hot. When it comes to these original cards, it really does pay to have a good look through and just give it some honest thoughts. These things are minor things that would be considered a problem as the overall score for it, because it's still a very beautiful card. It's still
highly sought after.
Exceedingly highly sought after. I mean, I'm sure they'll bring out remodels of this just because.
Well, there was a reprint in the Evolutions pack, and those are going for like I think 5,000 to 10,000. I think if I'm not mistaken, could be more, for a reprint. of that card?
Absolutely eyebrow. That's absolutely jaw-dropping, my friend. I mean, for something that's also a later model rather than one of these models here that is aged and kept into a certain modest respect. I mean, for a prime example, I'm going to pull out another random card here. First edition Machamp, within its wrapper, it would still be definitely worth having a look to see and getting PSA graded. Again, they're still part of the base set. Even something that came in the wrapper is still.
Do you know why
that...
it came in a wrapper? Was it part of like a promo or something, or did you get it like in a box?
I believe I got this one from a trainer box, or one of the very first trainer boxes. They did bring out a Machamp as part of every box.
Nice.
But in all honesty, it's still a first edition. It's still a base. And even though back then everybody had one, even now it's not that common to have many of these.
And especially still in the wrapper too. That's like that might be even more rare, I think. And we can definitely talk more about that. If you guys are curious to do a pre-PSA of that card, let us know in the comments down below as well. But going back to Charizard now, like, where do you think, judging from what you know about PSA grading, what do you think that card is going to be graded as?
So, given the fact that this has some obvious wear and tear to it, the holographic effect isn't actually scratched up on the Charizard itself, or sorry, isn't overly scratched. So that should go towards it being a, well, because it's mine and I'm hopeful, I'd like to say a good humble, maybe PSA 3.5, maybe 4.
4?
I'd be happy with it.
Okay.
I'd be happy with a 4, just purely because, you know, there is this wear damage in the corner, on the bottoms, but it's relatively minor, especially considering it classic card that I reckon will stand the test of time even more. So basically, with these being a first unlimited, I personally believe they will actually appreciate in value more so than the reprints that they've recently put out and have a staggering price tag for, just purely because there's a fundamental difference between the depreciation and appreciation of age.
So so it came out at 99 in the US and 96 in Japan. So the fact that you had that since 1999 should definitely that's a long ass time. So
as you mentioned, being one of the iconic cards, you would expect these all would have been played almost lovingly to death.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I seen cards worse than that, like so like the fact that you have to like decently like that, then I probably kind of agree with you. I'm kind of falling more, if I can examine the card a little bit, I'll give my my estimate. So the right corner, is that a bend?
Yeah, that is. Okay. That is just a little nib where it comes and shows through, but
okay.
Overall, the hologram is pretty damn decent.
But looking at the light and the way light shines on it, I definitely don't see that much scratches on it, which is very, very good. Yeah, the front, like if you just look at the front, the face, it looks pretty good for the most part. But what really shows is when you flip it to the back, right? So flip it to the back.
Yeah. So here's where you'll see the proper wear and tear from.
Yeah. So the back is, it's still gonna kill you in the PSA, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'll still get penalized for it.
Yeah, as of right now, I'm probably going to say about a 3, maybe even a 2. But we can always go into the website, so we'll probably flip to that area, and we can kind of give a rough estimate on that. We'll kind of like look around various websites to see roughly how much it'll be sold, that recently be sold for, as well as what PSA officially has it marked out for certain grades like that. And obviously, guys, before we continue, definitely check out some of the other collections that Liam has. Let us know what cards you want us to grade in the future as well, for another pre-PSA. But let's flip over to the main camera. Obviously, guys, before we actually get into the grading, we want to kind of point this out real quick. There has been a price jump in terms of getting your cards graded with PSA. As you see, the prices for some of these packages has doubled from $10 value up to $20. I believe the economy before was 25 to 50. Regular was about 50, now to 100. And I know Super Express, because I use that sometimes, was originally $200 to $300. So not quite double, but still a price jump nonetheless. Obviously, PSA is not the only one that has done this. Beckett has also done this as well, even before PSA. So prices, of course, have jumped. Obviously, the trading card community has been hot recently. A lot of people submitting cards, which is great, but they're trying to catch up in all these submissions. So the reason for this price up is because of that reason, and of course, also kind of discourage people, or at least make people consider not sending in cards for such low value cards. Because I have seen people like submit like commons to get PSA graded because it's so cheap. And now with the price jump here, it's going to discourage those people to like submit just any old card. So we just want to kind of bring that to your attention, guys. Obviously, if you guys any comments, and you can always discuss that in the comments down below. Let us know how you feel about this. Do you guys hate it? Do you guys like the idea that less cards will be submitted, meaning that certain cards will just get that much more valuable because there's less of it out there in the world? I don't know. There's pros and cons to both sides of the story here.
Especially considering it's more of a back step for them. Even though making them more money, it kind of it's going to make it a bit more harder for those that are trying to make a minimum spending for the maximum profit.
But nevertheless, guys, let's jump over to Liam's side of the house for the pre-PSA of the Unlimited Charizard. Alright guys, this is the price guide of non-first edition Charizard and where the value sits. Obviously, a Gen Mint non-first edition Unlimited is the most it's been priced at is $15,000. Average price of $12,000 for an Unlimited Charizard. That's stupid money right there. Stupid money. The guesses that we had, like, what was your guess for your cards?
I was hoping, considering all the sides and the good centering, I was hoping for a 3 to 4 rating.
All right, so a 4, the most it's been priced at is $510, with an average price of $305. A 3, a very good, is a $305 most recent price, as well as the average being $269.79. How do you feel about those prices real quick?
In all honesty, considering the price that they're going to charge now towards PSA grading, still would definitely lean towards being able to, it wouldn't discourage me from doing it because it is a benchmark point for the collector's edition.
I mean, take a look at this real quick. A PSA 1 is still going for a $222.50 at the most recent price, with an average of $249 for a PSA 1. So just think of that, guys, for a second. PSA 1.
So even if you've had that card at the bottom somewhere and it's kind of
it's been in like it's been in the washing machine, it's been torn apart, like PSA 1
dog ate it.
Boom, $250. But seriously though, even for a PSA 1 Charizard, that's a definition of like pretty much golden shit. Like, it's basically shit, but it's worth some money. So, but one more site we're going to check out real quick, of course, is the infamous eBay. Now, the one thing that someone pointed out in the comments is, when we did our other pre-PSA video, we actually looked at cards that are still available for sale, but we should really be looking at cards that have already been sold in eBay, which makes more sense. Like, what are people willing to spend for a card of that PSA grade? So that's exactly what we're going to do. So let's flip over to eBay. All right, so let's check this out real quick. This is a PSA 1 that's recently sold. $222.50, $250, $189, $284. This is all PSA 1, guys. And I'm pretty sure our cards are going to be much more in the PSA 1. So let's just check out this. Let's check out these pictures real quick.
Ooh, yeah, that's got some real long lines along the lines of the wing.
Yeah,
big lines.
You definitely can see it. And bottom left, bottom right, you see some nicks there. Check out the back.
Ever so slightly, ever so slightly. I mean,
And
from
you
the
could definitely
top where
see.
you could, where, yeah, from the P
Yeah.
towards the end.
That's definitely a bend there. There's another bend there in the top for almost $250 roughly. And this is recent too, March 7th. So yesterday. Yesterday in terms of this recording session. So that brings high hopes for you. Like let's say because my guess is that it's a PSA 3. Right, PSA 3. So kind of like what we saw. This is actually 2 days ago, $305 for a PSA 3.
Oh wow.
$350 PSA 3. 200, 313, 300, 282. So let's check out the most recent, about 2 days ago for a PSA 3. Wow, look at the top.
Oh wow. Gee.
The scratch there in the left corner. Yeah, your front looks way better than this.
Yeah, you can see a little bit, almost like a little mold circle patch just above his right wing.
The back is about the same as yours, I think.
That's
The bend. Yeah, you see that little bend there in the bottom middle.
Yeah, but overall, that's not bad. That is not bad. Both sides, as they go further up, they seem to stay like they've not had a little nip on the side or anything.
Let's be hopeful and let's check out a PSA 4 and to finish off the video. So PSA 4. All right, $510. This was about 2 days ago for a 4. $310 for a 4, 142, 280, 300, 350, 288. So 300, and then there's another 450 about a month ago. So on average about 300 to I guess as high as 500. 26 bids. Honestly, it looks pretty good, the front. I don't see anything wrong with the front. Made a bottom left a little bit.
I was gonna say bottom right looks a little bit worn than the left.
Yeah, check out the back here. Yeah, the back you can see it's not as bad.
But you can just about see on the bottoms and the midway to the top. If I can get away with a 4, I'll be happy with it because that's the upper end of what I'm hoping for. We know we're going to get better than a 1.
Yeah, but like we said before, even a 1 is still selling for $200. So, whew. All right, guys, definitely let us know in the comments down below. What do you think Liam's card is worth? Is it worth a PSA 4, a 3? Is it just a 1? Let us know. You guys saw the prices. You saw the comparisons. Those are the recently sold items on eBay right now for these cards. Unlimited PSA 4 down all the way to 1. And you saw the values of those, and then that's pretty insane. So overall, Liam, I guess what's your confidence scale in terms of like getting this card graded? Like, is it like a definite you're gonna get this card graded now from seeing the prices?
It's a no-brainer in my eyes, as it's a good enough card and a high enough value for it to actually be worth to put up there. And
on top of that too, just a caveat. Like, this is a card that you probably are not even going to try to sell, right? You're just going to keep it anyway, and you just want a card that it's graded officially, and you know that you had this card for like you're like the original owner of this card, right? You never traded this card. You actually pulled this card pack fresh, and now you kept it all these years, right?
I've kept it all these years. It's pure nostalgia at the most wholesome level.
Obviously, guys, if you guys want to watch that video, we have a link up here as well. But yeah, dude, like, so even if you get this a PSA 1, I'm sure you're gonna keep it and treasure it as if it's a PSA 10. So, and that's how I guess nostalgic we are for these cards. It's not always for profit, but it's nice to know that there's value behind the cards that we do collect. But at the same time, it just goes back to like how much you care about the card, how much you want to keep it.
Being like-minded and the collective, we have some true appreciation for the card.
But yeah, guys, that's pretty much concludes this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely consider giving us a like, and also comment down below what cards you guys want to see from Liam's side of the house of a future pre-PSA video. And of course, check out some of the other videos in store. Some of our Shining Faith, our future Battle Styles unboxing, and of course, Yu-Gi-Oh stuff we do as well in his channel from my side of the house. So if you guys like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh collecting, travel, cars, all that good stuff, definitely consider subscribing to this channel as well. But that's all I got. We'll definitely see you next video. Until next time, this is Talos and Liam signing out.
Peace.